The secret project and the big villain of the DC universe from DC Studios that has been teased by James Gunn for years now, and especially in the last 6 months, has been revealed by James Gunn talking about the finale of Peacemaker and also what we see confirmed in that finale. So let's talk about the upcoming debut of Darkseid and the New Gods. Well, here we are. We are officially done with Peacemaker Season 2 and on our way to get the big bad reveal. And this is all set up in the finale of Peacemaker Season 2, where they reveal that Peacemaker is stuck in Salvation. Now you're probably wondering and asking, what is Salvation and why is it so important? And this is something taken directly from the actual comics, and Season 2 of Peacemaker has been setting it up for a while. So in the comics, we got the Justice League of America doing the Salvation Run. And just like in Peacemaker, they set it up in a very similar way. Of course, there are some liberties taken with the DC universe, but the crux of the story is that Amanda Waller and everybody she works with find another planet / dimension, and what happens is that they decide, we are sick of all these villains that are constantly causing trouble on Earth, so we're going to throw them into Salvation, where that place is more or less a villains battle royale. Everybody for themselves, we don't care. They're bad guys, they're villains, they're murderers, let them fend for themselves. Is it inhumane? Yes. Do the other villains that did this care? No, they really don't. They see it as a means to an end. Well, that's exactly what we see in Peacemaker Season 2, as Argus and Rick Flag Sr. were directly involved in discovering Salvation, and at the end, they leave Peacemaker there as the first volunteer. Now, it is in these closing shots that we see how they establish Darkseid. So the first thing I want to mention is that after Peacemaker ended, there's of course like the Peacemaker podcast, which every show has a post-podcast these days, and James Gunn explicitly talks about how he was looking at the Salvation Run as an inspiration, and that this story is far from over. Now, what else makes Salvation a bigger factor here, and Darkseid, is what happens at the end. So when Peacemaker is standing there and the camera starts to pull out, it's doing this because we hear that in the distance there is a lot of noise. There seems to be some sort of T-Rex, Velociraptor sounding thing that's in the woods. Now, in the comics, Salvation was actually used by Darkseid as a training planet, as sort of a training ground to get his armies up to snuff. And what exactly does Darkseid train? Well, he trains parademons. So those primordial screams that sound frightening are clearly going to be parademons. And what makes this even more interesting is that if you look at the portal technology that was used in Superman, which of course you can see right here, it's in the back of Mr. Terrific and Lois, clearly a direct connection to Darkseid's boom tubes. Now, not only that, because we saw that Peacemaker's helmet is of course one thing, but in the other universe, he's got a different helmet. And the working theory is that in this alternative reality, this is actually a modified helmet from one of the New Gods. And if you look at this, the similarities are very, very evident and apparent. So think of it this way, they are using Peacemaker, and whatever happens to him next, however they want to deal with that, whether it's a Season 3 or a Checkmate show or whatever they do, because Checkmate is established in the finale as well, we are left wondering what direction they're going in. Now, of course, James Gunn said that this specific series leads directly into Man of Tomorrow. Now, a lot of people are saying that he lied, but he didn't. It's obvious that Rick Flag is going to be showing up in Man of Tomorrow him and Lex will be working together, just like Rick Flag in Creature Commando Season 2, which now they have the foresight of knowing it's a direct DCU connective piece of tissue, and they can make it all work and bounce off of one another. So the chances are that Lex and Rick are going to be very closely working together, but realize that in the time that they've been throwing people into salvation, that they've also been causing their own problem. Because now Earth is a target and Darkseid is coming. So what is the goal here? My guess is, and I'm still sticking with this, Brainiac, obviously the villain of Man of Tomorrow, and that's when they're going to realize that he's not the biggest threat. While Darkseid is going to be connected to everything and what he's trying to do, he's a stopgap villain towards building up the Justice League, formerly the Justice Gang at this point, and they're going to realize that they literally can't do this by themselves. They need everybody to be united for one common goal, which is the survival of everything, because clearly in this universe, they don't know about the existence of Darkseid. He's still a looming threat, along with so many others. And Superman, being established as the first alien hero on this planet, really tells us all we need to know. We are entering a new era where extraterrestrials are now going to be a big concept that people are sort of having to, come to terms with, that there's more out there than they thought. And of course, they already know that there is, but now they're directly gunning for Earth, and Earth's been put on the map by the heroes, aka Argus and Rick Flag, who revealed their location. And what did Peacemaker Season 2 establish? Every time they open up that portal, which they say they're going to open up all the time to toss villains in there, what happens? It sends out a ping. Who's looking for things that are pinging him because he needs the anti-life equation? Darkseid. So I think it's pretty evident and pretty clear that we are on the long way to Darkseid, and that everything is going to be sort of bouncing around that and establishing that. And I would not be surprised if by the end of Lanterns, we also get another direct reference about something going on at the far reaches of space. Something that everybody needs to investigate because it's a threat unlike something that they've seen for possibly millions of years. AKA, we're establishing Darkseid the same way that they did Thanos. A long, slow burn to get there because they don't want to rush it like the previous iteration of the DC Universe. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.